Hi everybody, welcome back to another video. I have some exciting stuff for you and some updates for you guys. You're currently in the back of the car because I am swapping out my barn shoes because the sneakers I've been wearing have holes in the sides and it means I'm getting dust and gravel in my shoes every single time I'm here, and that kind of sucks. But yeah, updates. Noah had off for about 3 weeks over the holidays, between my partner and I traveling for Christmas and New Year's, and then the entirety of Los Angeles County pretty much being on fire when we got back. And the first ride I had on her of 2025 was, it was bad. It was really bad. She reared with me, she spun, something was very clearly not right under saddle. So since then I've dialed it back and I was like, all right, I need to get all of this stuff looked at. Like I need to get the vet, saddle fitter, dentist, bodyworker, all of that. So she's seen dentist and bodyworker so far. And the bodyworker found a lot of tightness in her shoulders, right at her withers. So he released that. And her saddle actually fits better now than it did before. So I think that'll be okay for right now. But he said, like, give her a couple of days off. Come back, see how she is. You should see an immediate difference. So today is going to be my first ride on her since seeing the dentist and the bodyworker. I don't know how she's going to be. I hope she's going to be good. I hope she's going to feel better, but I don't know how much of a difference there will be right off the bat, just because the bodyworker said that this stuff is old and has been going on for a long time, probably longer than I've owned her. So yeah, we're gonna see how that goes. Had to grab some blueberries because we wound up with a shitload of blueberries, and I have been trying to feed them to the horses so we get them out of the house. But yeah, the other exciting thing is that it is looking like it's gonna rain, which we haven't had at all since I moved here. So that's exciting, and we're kind of against the clock, so let's get to it. So this is the clip I was talking about, and as you can see, this wasn't a little rear, this was a big, scary rear, and this was kind of my wake-up call that things were not right with her. This was more than just, oh, she's had time off. This was something that I really needed to start looking into seriously. I didn't get a ton of footage of the dentist working because I was holding Nala for him, but she definitely needed her teeth done, and she's been a lot more willing to move into the contact since she got her teeth done, so net win there. We had a couple days in between seeing the dentist and the body worker, so in the meantime I decided to try something new for the both of us. We tried our hand at long lining, and it turns out that Nala's really good at it. I have never long-lined her before. I don't know if she's ever been long-lined before, but what I have done is a lot of groundwork that involves wrapping the lead rope behind her butt and letting her kind of figure out how to untangle herself for it, which is, I think, why she's so chill about this, and having the ropes kind of everywhere and me behind her. She was such a gem. She tried so hard. I definitely have a lot to learn in terms of how to effectively, drive from the ground. But I think it was a really good learning experience for the both of us. I think it was a good way to get Nala's brain going without me sitting on her. And overall, it was just a fun way to shake up our routine for a couple days. Once again, I didn't get too many clips of the bodyworker because I was actively holding Nala while he worked, but you can see just how tight her shoulder is there and how much she dislikes him touching it, but she felt so much better afterwards. And the last thing that we got up to this week that I haven't really talked about is that Nala has a new friend that she's been going out with. They're both really low on the totem pole, so they don't like being near each other, but they're also too passive to chase each other away. So far they've been getting along really well, as you can see by Nala helping herself to her new friend's hay barrel. Alright, and now we are back to our riding day. This is it, guys. This is going to be the moment of truth. Something I've started doing lately is giving Nala a bowl of alfalfa pellets while I'm grooming her and getting her tacked up, just so she has something in her stomach before we go ride. I will say here, Nala has never been a fan of being brushed ever since I've had her. She's always been really sensitive, and I talked it up to her. You know, being picky and having preferences about what brushes I used on her. But what I actually realized when I was brushing her is that I was wrong, and she does enjoy being brushed. She just probably had nerve pain going on from her shoulders being impinged the way they were. Also guys, as you can see, it's really windy today, and normally this would have meant that Nala was super spooky, but spoiler alert, she was really good today. So I think that just goes to show just how much of a difference the bodywork has made. And what I'm doing here is just making sure that my saddle is far back enough so that it's not interfering with her scapula or her trapezius. That was something that the body worker pointed out to me. So that's something that I'm going to make sure is in the correct spot every single time before I ride now to keep her shoulders as healthy as possible.
You look so cute today.
Hmm?
You look so cute today.
I do.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like that.
I'm glad you like it. Of all the fashion decisions I've made, this one feels a little questionable. I feel a little bit like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
Yeah.
There's just no room here whatsoever.
No. It's a look.
Yeah. When I bought
barrel chest.
We're starting off with a little bit of excitement. So I decided to start this off by just bringing her down in her rope halter and doing a tiny little bit of groundwork to get a feel for how she was on the ground, and I'm glad that I did, because as soon as we got into the ring, the guys were finishing up feeding in the field behind the ring, and they kicked the Kubota on just as we got in, and so we had some feelings about that, but she settled from that really quick. And just for context for you guys, it's 20 degrees cooler today than it was yesterday, Fahrenheit, not Celsius, so she's handling the temperature differential and like the changes in her body really well so far. We did a little bit of trot just on the end of her rope here, and she did really well with that. So I'm gonna give it another minute or two, and then I think I'm gonna get on. Moment of truth time. Alright guys, we are in business. The body worker recommended that we warm up for 10 to 15 minutes, walking a lot of big circles, loosening up her shoulders and her hind end as much as we can on a nice long rein, getting her to stretch. I asked if it was okay if we did lateral work, and he said yeah, it is. So we also practiced yielding the hind end just a little bit, which I found really helpful when she was staring at stuff like up in the trees. Just asking her to yield away from it a little bit made looking at stuff way less exciting. We kind of kept it to this bottom half here just because there are horses bordering the other end of the ring, and it was almost dinner time for them, so they were a little antsy. So I decided to set us both up for success and work where I can and not where I can't. Something else that I worked into my ride, and that I try to work into all of the rides that I do, are periodic brake checks, and I try to always do that before I start trotting just to make sure that I have my brakes in case I need them. Alright, we're all warmed up at the walk. Let's take a look at our trot. Right off the bat, guys, I could already feel a huge difference in Nala. She was way more willing to reach down into the contact. She moved right off into this nice, even trot instead of running away or getting worried. Her head popped up a little bit at the beginning, just as she was taking a look around and kind of figuring things out. But all in all, she was so good. She felt like a completely different horse than she did before. We did have a tiny little bit of a spook here, where she just caught something funny out of the corner of her eye and had a little hop. In the grand scheme of Nala spooks, like, that was absolutely nothing, and she came back from it really fast, and we were able to go right back to work. Something that I tried to focus on this ride was opening up my hip angle a little bit more and riding with more of a driving seat instead of the Perchy Hunter light seat posting that I tend to adopt, just out of habit, and I think that worked well for Nala here. Something I said the other day to the trainer here that I've been working with is that I've gotten so used to being a reactive rider and managing everything that Nala has going on and whatever she's doing at any given time, that I've forgotten how to be an active rider and be an active participant in my own ride. And what I mean by that is that I've gotten so used to like managing her spooking or running with me or like not listening to my aids, that I've forgotten that I have to put leg on to make my turns. I have to balance her. I have to look where I'm going. I have to, close my outside aids to make that corner nice. And what this ride made really obvious is that I get to do that now. And now I need to dust the rust off of all of that. Alright, so we're just walking to cool out now because the property next door has their horses all turned out in a big field. And when they let them in, they just open the gate and let all the horses run in. So I wanted to hop off before they did that, and scared our horses. So yeah, she was really, really good. We had a couple spooks, but those were warranted, I think. She caught something out of the corner of her eye once. We're not going to the gate right now, sweetheart. I'm so sorry. But yeah, we had 1 or 2 spooky moments where she just kind of scooted. The closest comparison I have for her trot today was the best trots we've had in the past few months, where she was still a little quick. I still really had to work to keep her slow and balanced. But it was good. It wasn't runny. She didn't stop or rear or take off. All of those things. So that's really, really good. And according to the Bodyworker, she is... let me get myself back in frame. But according to the Bodyworker, she's only going to get better as time goes on. So we're gonna see what the next couple rides look like. Alright everybody, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for tuning in. Also, thank you for 1,000 subscribers. I hit that the other day and I am so excited about that. I really appreciate each and every one of you. YouTube has been such a huge source of enjoyment for me over the last year since I started uploading videos, and I'm so glad that I've gotten to share all of the big changes that have happened in my journey with Nala over the last year with you, and I'm so excited to continue that on. So if you're not subscribed already, what are you waiting for? Come join Nala and I on our journey. We would love to have you. If you enjoyed this video, you know the drill, leave a comment, and I will see you all next time. But until then, have a good one, everybody.